The U.S. government just forced a global blackout of the world's most advanced AI model, triggered by a direct warning from the CEO of the very mega corporation bankrolling its infrastructure.
Yeah, I mean, the future of global cybersecurity is literally on the line right now.
Right. But there is a massive twist buried in the cybersecurity logs and treasury memos we are deep diving into today.
The general public is completely locked out.
Exactly. But the massive tech giant that sparked the ban, they still get to use the AI.
The sheer speed of this takedown is, well, it's terrifying. To understand how we got here, we have to look at what Anthropic just released.
Right. They launched 2 distinct models, right?
Yeah. First, Claude Fable 5, which was meant for the general public. And second, Mythos 5.
And Mythos is the restricted one.
Exactly. Built exclusively for top-tier cybersecurity partners in a program called Project Glasswing.
And looking at the benchmark data in our sources, I mean, Mythos 5 isn't just fast, it's incredibly thorough.
Oh, it operates entirely autonomously. In testing, it independently found over 10,000 critical vulnerabilities across major software.
10,000.
Yeah, including this 16-year-old bug in FFmpeg.
Wait, that's the hidden software that processes video on, like, almost every app you use, right?
Exactly. And this bug had somehow survived 5 million automated scans. It also found severe flaws in the Linux kernel that allow for root escalation.
Okay, so root escalation, that's basically the digital equivalent of a regular hotel guest magically creating a master key.
Right, a key that opens every single room, the vault, and the manager's office.
Precisely. The AI gives you total system control.
So think of Mythos 5 not just as a master locksmith. It's a locksmith with X-ray vision.
Yeah, like looking at a massive skyscraper and instantly seeing the microscopic structural weaknesses in a million locks simultaneously.
And then printing the master keys and telling you exactly how to reinforce the door.
Right. That's the leap from human testing to AI automation.
Which makes the sudden, total shutdown of both models so jarring.
And this is where the story gets really wild. Amazon researchers managed to jailbreak the public model, Fable 5.
Right.
How did they actually do that?
Well, a jailbreak in this context essentially means feeding the AI a series of hypothetical, highly complex fictional scenarios.
Right, like playing a game with it.
Exactly. They tricked its safety filters into lowering their guard, forcing the AI to spit out real, dangerous cyber attack methods.
Wow.
And when Amazon CEO Andy Jassy saw what it could do, he took the findings straight to the U.S. Treasury.
Which triggered a massive government response.
Yeah.
The Trump administration dropped an unprecedented export control directive.
Yeah, restricting any foreign national from accessing these models, period.
But because Anthropic doesn't have a real-time mechanism to verify the citizenship of every single user hitting their servers globally.
They had only one way to comply. They pulled the plug. A total global blackout of both models.
But wait, Amazon invested billions into Anthropic. They host these models on Amazon Web Services.
Right.
So Amazon effectively triggered a government ban that subsequently crashed AWS's own dependent services.
Yeah, services that you probably use every day. It is the ultimate corporate Ouroboros.
Like a snake eating its own tail.
Exactly. But here is the infuriating part for everyday developers. When the models went down, you'd think Amazon was locked out too.
But they weren't.
No, they weren't. About 200 of those Project Glasswing partners, including Amazon, retained their access to Mythos 5.
Through a compliance loophole.
Yes, because massive tech giants have strict ITAR compliance systems in place.
That's the International Traffic in Arms Regulations.
Right. That means they can cryptographically verify that only U.S. citizens are sitting at the keyboard.
Because they can prove who is using the model, they satisfy the export controls.
Naturally, the Reddit community exploded over this. It's a total rules for thee, but not for me reality.
But looking at the broader political context in our sources impartially, I mean, this wasn't an isolated incident.
Not at all. Anthropic recently refused to let the military use its AI for autonomous lethal weapons.
Right.
And the government responded by labeling Anthropic a supply chain risk.
Yeah, and then after a federal judge temporarily blocked that designation as retaliatory, the administration immediately pivoted to using export controls.
The export control was essentially Plan B to rein in the technology.
Hold on, I need to stop you there.
Yeah.
Are you saying a massive cloud provider essentially used the U.S. Treasury to trigger an export action against a company they literally fund?
Well, it certainly looks that way to a lot of people.
Because that sounds less like a national security measure and more like an operational kill switch weaponized to stifle competition.
And that is exactly what the tech industry is scrambling to navigate right now. We are entering a new reality where regulatory mechanisms like export controls can take down frontier technology overnight.
Completely bypassing the usual judicial checks and balances. So what you need to watch next is how the industry reacts to this precedent.
Exactly. Where does this leave you?
Right. If an AI like Mythos 5 is capable of discovering 10,000 zero-day flaws,
Meaning vulnerabilities so new that developers have 0 days to fix them before hackers strike.
exactly. Are you really safer with that AI locked in a restricted vault?
Or does that just ensure that only the wealthiest corporations and defense contractors hold the ultimate digital shield, while the rest of the internet is left fending for itself?